Hello and welcome to my Facebook 101 ads tutorial. So I'm going to walk you through start to finish everything that you need to know to create and start your first Facebook ad campaign in this video. So there will be timestamps in the description of the video. If you need to hop around or go back to a section where you may have messed up or missed something, you can certainly do that with the timestamps below. Number one, you have to have a Facebook business page to even do this. So I assume if you're here, you have one, but I do want to say that because there would be someone in the comments section say, well, why can't I create an ad? And it would be because you don't have a Facebook business page. So come here to facebook.com/business tools right here. You can come to the Facebook business profile overview here and create a new page if you haven't already. Now, how do we get to the ads manager or dashboard in order to create and start our ad campaigns on Facebook? So here we are on the Facebook business page here. And if you click the little icon in the left-hand corner here, if it's not already shown, you should see the Manage Page options here, where you can go to your professional dashboard. You can do a whole bunch of things here. I would like for you to go to Ads Manager. So manage your ads and see the results. So when you click on Ads Manager, it will launch the Ads Manager and will show you, obviously, if you have any ad campaigns current, it'll show those to you here. But if you do not, in your case, then you'll be able to create and start your brand new Facebook ad campaign. Now, a couple of things about the interface here. The drop-down menu here where it says campaigns, this is going to be specific ad accounts. If we go to see more ad accounts, you should be able to now see multiple or different ad accounts if you have them. For you, you'll probably only have one, but if you are messing up and seeing some issues here with like your Facebook pixel and the alignment with your website, you may want to go and check and make sure you're using the correct ad account ID, and you can see that number there next to ad account ID. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to be first going to settings here where it says business settings right here, and you want to make sure that you have right here where it says payment methods, go to payment methods and add either your PayPal account, your credit card or debit card. That way, when you are creating your ads, you're not going to run into the error of you don't have a payment method. You have to have a way to pay Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call them, when you do run ads. So go here, go to payment methods and make sure that is fixed. The next thing that I want you to do is go back to the ad manager or ad page here. And then once we are here, I want to show you a couple of different things. When you create something here within the Facebook ad manager, the first thing is going to be a campaign. Next will be an ad set because you want to test multiple ads within the campaign. And then the next folder below that will be the actual ads. So understand that hierarchy before we even get started. All right, so go ahead and click the green Create button here under Campaigns. The first thing you're going to see here is Create New Campaign when you click that button, and you're going to be given the campaign objectives that you can choose from. Now, if you're trying to make sales on your website, you're obviously going to choose sales. If it's just leads for like a dentist or a doctor's office, you're going to choose leads. If it's engagement on a specific post or traffic to a website, if it's a news site for ad revenue, you get the point, right? So pick the purpose or campaign objective for the ads that we're going to be creating today. For me, it's going to be sales. So go ahead and click the blue continue button. But before you do that, you name your campaign by clicking this drop-down menu here. And you can see here is the rundown of everything I just mentioned. You have campaigns, and then under that you have ad sets, and then under those you have the individual ads, okay? Everything starts under the campaign folder, and then everything else falls underneath that. And you could go ahead and name and create your ad set and ads here, but we're gonna do it just in the general order that the kind of walks us through. So go ahead and hit the up arrow to close that out and click the blue continue button. Once you do that, it's going to take us into the campaign settings. And then once we hit next, it'll go into the ad set settings and then the actual ads themselves and the settings for the way the ad looks and feels. Here we are under campaign settings. We have our campaign name at the top. You can change that if you need to. Then we have special ad categories. These are going to be, categories that are going to be specific for you. So if you're in the housing or employment spaces, you may need to check these. So make sure you hit the drop-down menu just to make sure that doesn't apply to what you're trying to do with your ads. Next, buying type is auction. If we hit edit here, hit the drop-down menu, the only option for me here for sales will be auction, but depending on the campaign type, you may have different buying types here under campaign details. I would leave it at auction. You're normally going to get the best bang for your buck here. Campaign objective is sales, and then catalog here. Select a catalog to reach the people most likely to engage. If we turn this on, it'll let you know basically, it'll take a catalog, like I have my Pixel, which we'll get to here in a minute, connected to my Shopify store. The Pixel basically allows you to see the results and the people who are going to your site, the actions they're taking, and whether or not you get a sell or an interaction or not. So you can choose catalog here because I have a Shopify product catalog connected to my account, and we will talk about that shortly. But I'm going to leave that off for the purposes of this video. Next, we have A/B testing. Now, this allows you to A/B test specific things. After you publish the campaign, we'll take you to the A/B test setup where you can finish creating your test. So basically, this is where you can change the way images look, change your headlines or descriptions, tweak things slightly, and see which one performs best. And the one that ranks higher or performs better will be the one that Facebook uses or shows to people after the test runs its course. So I would enable that. It's always good to test and try things out. Next is Advantage Campaign Budget. So basically, it'll distribute your budget across ad sets to get more results. So basically, if you have multiple ad sets under a campaign, it'll distribute it evenly until it finds out which one is working the best. And just like with the A/B test above, it'll then present that one the most because that's the one that you're making the most money off of. So I would turn this on, and then this allows you to set your daily budget or a lifetime budget. Now, daily budget is a little bit that I need to explain here. Let's say your daily budget is $10 or $10, whatever your currency is. It tells you here below that on some days it may be $12 or $13, but other days it may be $7 or $8, but it will always average out to be the $10 daily budget, and it will go no higher than a weekly budget of $70 per calendar week. Now, the campaign bid strategy, you can go and click edit here. I like to leave mine to highest volume, but again, this will all be dependent on the purpose of your ad. Highest volume will get the most results for your budget. So basically, you can aim for a specific price point for the type of ad that you're running. I've tried these. I still like highest volume. And again, there's certain ones that may be grayed out for the specific type of campaign. And the last thing I want to show you here under more options is ad scheduling. The only way you're going to be able to schedule your ads is if you have a lifetime budget. So what that means is instead of a daily budget, let's say you have a lifetime budget of say $200, whatever that may be, then you can go to ad scheduling, go to edit, run ads on a schedule, and it will allow you to basically specify when you want each ad to run. So we're going to uncheck that now. We're going to go back to a daily budget of, let's say, $10 per day. And then we are going to overlook everything. Now, if you want to, you can click the review option here, and it will give you a rundown of everything that you've just done. So this is the name of the campaign. Here's the categories. Here's the buying type. Here's the objective, the budget. You get the point, right? And then when you're ready to go, everything looks good. You click the blue next button here, and it's going to take us down to the next tier, which is the actual ad sets. Now, this is where you're going to, I highly encourage you, make sure you're naming your ad sets, naming your campaigns, and naming your specific ads. Because if you're doing this right, you're testing different ones, you're testing different tweaks and things like that to see which one performs the best for your business. And it's going to be really hard to know which one is which and what you've done on that ad if you don't name them. So go ahead and give your ad set a name like I have here. And then we're going to see conversion location. So this is going to be where, do you want to drive sales to your website, which is what I want to do? Do you want to drive sales and conversions on your app if you have that, or maybe both website and app, or maybe messaging, or you want to get calls to land the sales there? So I'm going to select website, but again, you need to choose what is right for the ad that you're creating, okay? Next is going to be right here. You're going to see performance goal, maximize number of conversions. For me, I want to maximize how many times I convert a person seeing my ad, clicking the ad, going to my website, and making a purchase. So I want to maximize that. Now, pixel. You may be thinking, what in the heck is a pixel? So a pixel, if you hover over this eye icon right here, will tell you It's a piece of code that you set up and link with your website. I'm not going to show you how to do it because you may have a different website than me. I have Shopify. You may have Squarespace, whatever it may be. But you need to go and you can see where you can add an account right here. If you hover over the eye, you can add an account to a Metapixel, or you can go here and click About Metapixel. What I would do is I would click on this link here. And then basically what this does is it basically tells you over on the right-hand side exactly how you can add your pixel, right? Or just watch a specific video, because that could be a 10 to 15 minute video in itself on how to add the pixel to your Facebook ad manager. I will say this, it's very important that you have a pixel, because when it comes to data, that's the most important thing of giving you feedback on what's working and what's not, and the actions that customers are taking on your website or app or whatever you're trying to send them to. So make sure, as you can see here under my drop-down menu here, I have this pixel here, and you'll have a specific pixel ID. Now, a conversion event, once you have a pixel, and if you don't have one here, it'll give you a link to create one, by the way. What do we want them to do? So we want them to check out, right? We want them to make a purchase, right? So click on purchase here. Cost per result goal, don't worry about that. You can go to show more options. It'll tell you basically for 7 days, that's how long it'll be tracking and the people who come to the site via the pixel. All right, next we have dynamic creative. Basically, this is like an AI thing that Facebook and Meta have now, that if you turn this on, you can provide creative elements such as images and headlines that will be used to automatically generate variations for your audience. If you turn this on, it will give Facebook the ability to utilize what they think may be good headlines or descriptions or imagery to use for your ad. Now, if you want to handle everything yourself and make sure that they don't have any say in it, you leave that turned off, and I'm going to do so for the purposes of this video. Next, we have our budget and schedule. For a Facebook ad campaign, you can either set it to have a start date, obviously, and no end date until you come in and manually end it, or you can go and say, I want to click the end date here, and I only want this ad to run for a week, a full week. And then if we go to show more options here, we can actually add, spend limits. So if we go to edit here, add spend limits, and then daily minimum and daily maximum. But if you've already set up your daily budget, I found that there's really no need to do this unless you have a specific use case for that. Next is probably one of the most important things for all people who are creating ads on Facebook. That is creating your audience. This could take a lot of time for you. And so I'm going to give you kind of the beginner's rundown of this, but I highly encourage you to really test different audiences and see which ones perform better for you. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do here is you can see the low-hanging fruit is right here, locations, age, and gender. So for me, I want to leave it just for the United States. I want the age range to be, a little higher because these people have more money. So we'll change it to, 27 to say age 55, and we want the gender to be only women or females. Now, once we've got kind of the basics here, then we want to go to detailed targeting. Or if you have an existing audience hooked up with your pixel, you can go to search existing audiences, and you can go to lookalike, and it'll allow you to choose from your pixel or your Shopify community if you have a large enough, email list or customers over there. So right here under demographics, interest, or behaviors, we can add as many of these as possible, and this will, as we're doing it, it will go ahead and change our audience definition. It'll let us know whether it's broad, whether it's too specific, or whether it's kind of right there in the green sweet spot. The estimated audience size is 65 to 77 million people. We obviously want to bring that down just a bit. So under detailed targeting, we want to start typing, and we want to go to women's clothing. So we'll go ahead and type in here women's clothing or apparel. And as you can see, that takes it down almost half over here under your audience definition. The sweet spot from what I found from Facebook ad experts and marketing gurus is right around that 2, 3, 4 million number, maybe even lower depending on if you're trying to target location, like if you're a doctor's office or a dentist office trying to target a specific geographical area, that would obviously need to be smaller depending on the size of the area that you're targeting. Next, right here, we can add more demographics, interests, or behaviors. So what we'll do is we can even click on suggestions, and it'll let us know that online shopping here or retail. So if we click on that there, that kind of reduces our audience size. Then we go to suggestions here. We'll go to engaged shoppers, and that takes it down even further. And then if we wanted to, we could go to browse, and we could go and look at all the different demographics, interests, and behaviors. So if we go to demographics here, we could go to financial, income, and we could even target it down to specific income levels, like what I'm doing here. Once you have everything, and it's not, kind of in that sweet spot, it'll say, we may deliver ads beyond your audiences for your selected objective if they think it's going to improve the performance. So we can even define further and click on this here, and we can go and add even more demographics, interest, or behaviors. And if you wanted to, you could even exclude specific audiences. All of this is something that I would highly encourage you to kind of mess around with and see what works best for you. And then under languages, if I go to edit, I only want the language to be, for me, I want it to be English. We'll do US, and that'll take the audience down a little bit there from languages. Once you have created your audience here, if you want to save this audience, basically, once you've created this ad set, it'll show up right here under saved audiences here, and that'll allow you to kind of pull from that once you click the button here that says save this audience. Next is placements. I would not do this. I would not click manual placements. I would go to Advantage Plus. Basically allows Facebook to present it and display the ad where they think it's going to perform the best. And if you have your Instagram account linked, it'll show up on both Facebook and Instagram stories and videos and things like that. So I would leave Advantage Plus placements, which is obviously recommended there. And then as you can see over on the right-hand side, a little bit of an overview of what you're doing. Now, if we click on review, it'll let us know what the ad set name is, start and end date, our audience, what our purpose is, and the delivery type. If everything looks good and everything is good to go here, click the blue next button. And this is going to take us to where we create the ad itself. So start out by giving your ad a name right here. And then under identity, obviously, you have to have your Facebook business page, which I told you that you needed that. If you have multiple business pages, you can select from them here by clicking on the drop-down menu. And then under Instagram account here, you would need to select the Instagram account and make sure you're logged into your Instagram account to make sure that's what you want. Next, we want to create our ad under ad setup. There are a number of different things that we can do. We can create the ad from scratch. We can use an existing Facebook post on our business page, or we can use Creative Hub Mockup. I'm not going to go over that one today. These two are pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to walk you through how to create your own ad. We're going to do a carousel ad, but you could do a single image or video or a collection. Carousel allows you to do 2 or more scrollable images or videos. I'm sure you've seen those on Facebook where they kind of think of it as a highlight where you see an image, a few seconds go by, shows another image or video, and it goes that way. And then we want to select multi-advertiser ads. This is just always a good thing to do. Don't worry about that there. But select the type of format that you want for your ad, and let's go ahead and start making the magic happen. All right, for me, for my carousel ad, I want to go ahead and click the pencil icon here, which allows me to see the drop-down and add my headline and description, as well as the target or website URL. This is where you want people to go when they click on that specific image in the ad. So as you can see, you want to go ahead and type in your headline. The headline will show up in bold, depending on where the ad is being presented, sometimes below or above the image. And if you ever want to see what it's looking like with specific areas on Facebook or Instagram, you can go to Advanced Preview over here, and it shows you. This is what it looks like in a Facebook feed. This is what it looks like in an Instagram feed. And then you can just close out of that and make some more edits. Now, you want to create an image and upload an image, obviously. So you want to go to Select Image here, and then you'll be able to have your images uploaded. I have a bunch of images that I've already uploaded, but in order to do so, you would click on Upload right here, and then find the image on your computer and just double-click that image. Now, I will say this. I found that if you're doing vertical imagery, it's 675 by 1200, but I would just do a quick Google search of what's the appropriate size for a Facebook vertical ad. If you're doing vertical, if you're obviously doing horizontal, it won't be applicable to what you're doing. But I have found that 675 by 1200 works great. I would go to Canva, create a new canvas, and just start with that size and go from there. So we're going to select this image here and go to continue once we've uploaded it. And as you can see, the image comes up available here to us. We can actually change that image if we chose the wrong one, or we can go to edit image here and we can choose vertical, which is what's recommended here. But I basically, if you do the size I recommended, it's going to show correctly. But go to vertical here under edit image and you can crop that, go to save, and you are good to go. Once you've done the first image in your carousel, go ahead and do the remaining ones by going to add cards here, and then you can add an image or a video. The same thing works for video, so if you're doing a video ad, you would just do the same thing, but instead of uploading an image, it would be a video. All right, and as you can see, I've added my 2 images, which in a carousel is the minimum at which they'll allow you to have. You got to have at least 2, up to, I believe, 6 or 7 for carousel ads on Facebook. And then if I wanted to add more, I would go to add cards and then just do that just as I showed you before. Edit placement. If we go to select a placement to edit, this will allow you to edit specific placements. So if you're like, I don't like the way it looks on my Instagram Reels, you can click on that and edit the image specifically for that placement. So again, you can get into the fine details of it right here. Now, under carousel optimizations, if you are doing a carousel ad, would be automatically show the best performing card first. And what is a card? A card is basically everything you create up here. So this one product is a card, this product is a card, and you can add more all the way up to 5, 6, or 7. Next would be add a card at the end with your page profile picture. This would be like at the end here. If we go ahead and go over, it would basically show your logo or your whatever you have as your profile image to click and go once the carousel is over. You can add music. I like to do this one. It's kind of fun. They'll add some royalty-free music there for you, and then add a map card showing your nearest stores. This only works if you have physical locations that you're trying to target geographically, right? So check the ones that are applicable to you and what you're trying to do. And then under here, under primary text, this is where you go and you add, I normally like to go over to ChatGPT or whatever it is and say, hey, give me 5 really good headlines for a woman's boutique clothing store, running Facebook ads, go. And it gives me a bunch of good ones. So here you can see I've got a bunch of them that I've added in the past. So if I go here, I can add them, and you can add up to 5 of those if that's what you want to do. Next would be call to action. If you click the drop-down menu here, obviously for me, I want them to purchase. So I want to go to shop now, or if I even wanted to, I could go to down here. I believe there's one that actually says purchase. But choose the one that you like the looks of best and what applies to what you're trying to get the audience member to do, and then select that one, and you're good to go. Now, under destination, this is going to be the main destination. Obviously, if we go back up here to our individual cards in the carousel, go to edit here, there is a website URL that is linked directly to that specific card. But under destination here, this is going to be the prime destination where when they click on it, that's where it's going to take them on your site. So make sure you have a destination here under the URL, and you can preview it just to make sure it works by clicking on preview here, and it should take you over to your website. Next would be add button. Do you have a WhatsApp on your website or a way to communicate you via phone? You can select that there, and that will show up as well. And under instant experience, this is a new video in itself. I would just select a destination for your website and go from there. Under tracking, you can see if you've set up your pixel properly. This is important. You will have a green dot right here. And under app events and offline events, you can set those up with that pixel, right? But for website events, which is what we're trying to do, that should be checked and it should be green, and you should see your pixel ID there somewhere below right there. When you've done all of this, I would go to advanced preview over here on the right-hand side, and it will show you what it looks like. And it will also show you, oh, there's some problems. Images used for ads in Instagram Shop should be square with an aspect ratio of 1:1. That lets you know, oh, I need to go in there and I need to fix it. And once you're good to go, you've made all the changes, you'll go up to review right here. It'll give you a rundown of the ad, where it's going, where it's taking people. And then if you're good, you click the green publish button right here. When you publish an ad campaign within Facebook, if we go back to our dashboard here, you can see here is the tutorial ad that we are running right here, okay? So that's going to be the ad itself. But if we go back to campaigns, we're going to see our multiple campaigns. So you can see it's processing while Facebook approves the ad. So I'm going to turn that off because I obviously don't want that to go live. But a couple of other things that you can do right here. If you need to delete a campaign, you select the square here and click the trash icon, which is right over here, and that will automatically start deleting the campaign that you just created. When you want to go in and look at data for a specific campaign, like this one here is turned on, it's active right here, there's the ad set name, you can actually scroll to the right and say, this is a 7-day campaign. Right now, I've reached 103 people, and if we scroll to the right, we can see we have been charged a little over $3.30. We can, at any time we want, go in and hover over here, and we can edit, we can duplicate, we can pin specific ad sets and campaigns. But if we go to View Charts, we'll be able to look at basically everything that we see. If we have our pixel set up, it'll actually let us know exactly what it looks like and what looks the best, right? And we can see which ones are performing the best, how many purchases we've got, and we can even customize those metrics if we want to. You need to familiarize yourself with this ad dashboard because you're going to be here a lot, right? And so just make sure you know what's working and what's not, and what are things that you may need to fix within your ad. That's it. Now you've created your first campaign and ad within Facebook. Go back and iterate and test and iterate and test and see what works best for you and your business, and see if you can make some money. That's what the whole point of Facebook ads are. I really appreciate you guys watching this tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful, and if you need to go back, use the timestamps down below. If it did help you out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.